Okay. Hey everyone, super excited that we're here again with Daniel. If you recall, we were, for those of you who got to watch it on Tuesday, had an extraordinary conversation about who Daniel is. We actually met at a Hope Makers event and several months ago and connected on many, many, many levels. And making an impact is ultimately like where our highest connection was, which is really extraordinary. So for those people that didn't get to meet you, and see you on Tuesday. First of all, go back and watch it because it's really extraordinary. He does some cool
It was
stuff,
great.
including the most amazing magic trick ever, literally magic. Or you call it mentalist or whatever. So let's go ahead and just share more about who you are, just so people who didn't get to watch Tuesday, just about who you are and like the impact you really are making in the world, because I think it's extraordinary.
Yeah, so I'm a magician and mentalist. I'm also a keynote speaker and a former executive director of a nonprofit here in the Cincinnati area. And and so over the years, I've just my entire mission has been to connect people. And I've been using that with magic and now with my keynotes. And I do it every way that I can, whether it's through putting a message in my magic show, whether it's through fundraisers. My job is just to leave the world a better place, camping rules.
I love that camping rules. But more importantly, like he's not the traditional keynote speaker. Daniel, the thing I love about you is like how you weave in magic into like really elevating the conversation inside of companies and stuff. And what struck me, and I've been sitting with it the last couple of days since that conversation, is the like how you weave in the conversation and really leave them truly elevated, with the perspective of like who they are and what they're creating, all of that. So, like, that's a big thing I just wanted to focus on inside of that. And then we'll jump into this. Do you recall what you said about that?
Um, Really, I customize it with my Trojan horse motivation is what I call it. It's the magic show where I put the message at the end. I customize that for every single one of my clients. And then the keynote, I'll put in different stories to really make it relevant for any company that brings me in. But that one, the performance beyond expectations, is about expanding your reality, seeing the world differently to not only adapt to change. For instance, I've got a keynote I'm doing next month for a company that was just bought out. And so everyone's wondering what happens. And so this is helping them adapt to that change and be able to see it as opportunities for growth and for new things. And you can also use it for innovation. You can use it for personal growth. And I like coming in and just customizing these specifically for those companies.
Yeah, and I just love how you do it. And you do it in a way where you really have left every person, property, and community better than you found them, which is really important to me for everybody who knows my vision and mission in my company. So let me share my screen really quick because I know you only have a few minutes because you're super busy. So we're just gonna
Yeah.
jump into all the things. So talking about freedom by design, and again, I love your story of literally how you created that freedom for yourself inside of like, Titan being the Sentinels of the American Dream. You have truly created your version of the American dream, right? And the evolution of like where you started, where you were in college, what you were going to college for, and the whole being, what did you call it? An extreme weather chaser. There was a better word for it.
I
Um,
was studying atmospheric sciences, and the goal was to be like a severe storm researcher or a
that's what it
tornado
was.
chaser.
Yeah, like Twister.
Yep.
And then it evolved into eventually, like through a whole series of events. Now you're this magician and mentalist, which is extraordinary and cool. Again, you guys got to go back and watch the magic trick. And then again, weaving it into really impacting and shifting people's perception and perspective and stuff, which is really extraordinary. So I'd love to talk about that inside of like, building family first wealth that actually lasts, right? Like that's the piece I talk about is building multiple streams of passive income. And for those of you who don't know my story, that I had inadvertently created 13 streams of passive income for family, and my husband had died in 2018, and that's what allowed me to take a year off and grieve with my 14-year-old twins. But and then realizing moving forward that most families are hit with one of the 5 Ds in their lifetime, whether it's death, divorce, diagnosis, downsize, being dumped. And if we don't have our financial house in order, meaning multiple streams of passive income, you'll literally be financially devastated, which is interesting because Daniel, that's what ultimately got you on your path was you didn't have those multiple streams of passive income, and out of necessity, you were performing and doing all these things turned into something amazing. And had you had that, that would have been, a different experience. So
Yeah.
anyway, just coming back to that. So I'd love to just weave your story into how you created that and into how families can shift their perception on finances and wealth building and all of that to build that safety and protection and freedom for their families.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking a couple of months ago about how, probably in the next couple of years we'll be working together and doing deals together because, you're just such an expert at being able to find those different streams of income. And and for me, it started because when I had nothing, I had to find one way to make income. And then
Right.
it was like, how can I get another one? So I went from birthday parties to corporate events, and then I added trade shows, and then I started leveling up to like, okay, well, I guess I was only doing company parties. How do I do corporate? And then how do I go from corporate to now keynotes? And just over the years, it's been gaining these additional tools and learning how to increase and create multiple revenue streams. Just wrote another book. And so now I'll be able to have the book sales and be able to use that. And then, once, all of this settles over the next year or two, we'll be able to start doing a lot more of the investing because we're still chipping away at those student loans and getting to a place where we can do all of that investing. And then, at that point, it'll be going into a lot more passive income.
I love that. It's so awesome. So, and that's exactly like it just starts with one, right? So it's
Yeah.
how much money do I need to start? Can I do this? Like, again, it's about creativity and finding different ways. And I was having a conversation yesterday with a girlfriend of mine. It's like how I got into multiple of these passive streams of income
And
was
then,
different um, skills that I brought to the table. It wasn't necessarily money, right? And understanding their skill sets and relationships, networks, tools that I was able to bring to the table and be able to now become an equity partner in some of these deals and create that. Sometimes it was affiliate programs. Again, making all the connections, providing enormous amounts of value to people, and I'm still getting paid on things that I created over 20 years ago. So again, it's thinking outside of the box like you did, Daniel. Like that's the whole mentalist piece that I love that you bring to the table with, again, thinking it different. What makes it a safer investment? It's literally doing research, but more importantly, it's finding who knows how. So Daniel, you went and got trained by somebody and who knew how to actually have you be an extraordinary magician and mentalist, right? Like
yeah. And
investing.
then I've got about a minute left before I
Yeah.
gotta go.
No worries. So, with that, we're gonna wrap this up. And so the next steps really is everybody knows how to get a hold of me. But Daniel, for people to get a hold of you in order to have that you come in and transform their companies, their businesses, whatever, what is the best way for them to get to know you, follow you? I know you're on TikTok. I was watching a bunch of your videos last night.
Yeah, so I'm on social media. Daniel C. Schaffer is my handle, or you can visit my website, schaeffermagic.com, SCHAFFER, or reach out to Catherine. She'll connect you because we're friends.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that. Well, thank you for coming on. I hope you have an extraordinary day, an extraordinary weekend, and I know we're going to do some other
Absolutely.
cool stuff later. I love it.
Definitely. Thank you so much
Cool.
for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye for now.